Yo, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone is well. We are back and running. This is one fight week ends, another one begins, and because we had fights yesterday on a Monday, I feel out of sorts. It's my Tuesday morning at 11:15 a.m. We have a lot to talk about. I'll spend the first, we'll say, 5 minutes on recapping last week. We usually do our recap on Monday, but fights didn't end until Monday night my time, so we didn't get to do a recap. So I'll just do a quick little recap. Make sure you hit subscribe whenever you catch this, whether it's live or you catch it on the fight or the podcast playlist. Give it a like. Also, I just uploaded my first Stats Don't Lie video of the week. It's probably one of 7. I got a lot of work to do behind the scenes. This is my breakdown prediction of Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. That's up on the playlist and fight predictions. So to get started, let's I'm gonna just spend, like I said, a couple minutes going over this past week real quick because I know there's some stuff to talk about. Okay, let's just get into this, and then I'll say what's up to everybody. Beasts. All right. So this is a shout out. I shared this on on my Instagram, and I shared it in the Discord and on my Instagram wall. Shout out to Nick. Uh, and this is part of the community here, guys. Whether it's the JSB community, the 3D community, I feel like as we're growing here, we're attracting more and more like-minded people. In a good way, right? So it's like when some of us hit, we all hit, sort of thing. Nick, I talked about on my live stream before the Zuffa card, Breaking Bad's perspective on a couple dogs. And because I spoke about that, some of our guys in our Discord followed Nick's lead and hit. And this is what this post is about. No Limit took Jay Brio at plus 390. He bet 1,500 to win 7,694. And you guys should be caught up to date. Yeah. I have Abel winning. Abel's on. So this is. Let's see. I have Abel winning. Abel's on my long parlay. That's it, though. It's a half unit long parlay with the favorites. If I were to, reach into my couch and find a loose $100, I would throw it on Jay Brio. A, plus 480, nice little return. B, I could then call my boy Nick and be like, bro, good hit. You were spot on. Hell yeah. This is why I do like this. Like, if you know me, this is the type of guy I am. We covered that. They can come closer. That was before the fight card. And these are just sort of our quick hits. So I gave out 8 tickets last week on our Patreon and our Discord, Patreon and YouTube JSB Insiders. The only ones we lost were our method of victory parlay. We picked wrong. We picked FA on points. It was a value play. That 2-legger didn't hit, and then our long parlay didn't hit, but 6 out of 8 hit. So we got Zambekov at plus 108 by stoppage. This was the first ticket I gave you guys early in the week. This was a short parlay, 4-leg plus 196. Caroline Vire on the money line at 197. Pagan, Nishida, and Ajagbe. That hit. And then these were and I posted all these. These were our tickets that hit. So 3 weeks ago, we hit on 4 of our tickets. Last week, we hit on 5 of our tickets. This week, we hit on 6. Caroline Vire on the money line. We hit the double method of victory, Vire on points and Joshua Pagan on points at plus 290. The 4-legger we just spoke about. And then some method of victories where I feel as a team, we're getting better at the method of victories. Week in and week out. Like 3 months ago, picking a method of victory wasn't one of my strengths because it wasn't something that I was doing over time. And now since we're doing it, and it's like anything. If you want to get good at something, you just have to start doing it, right? So it's something we're paying attention to. Shout out to GK. We got love for GK. He's a JSB insider. This is awesome. Now, I don't know, like he just put his stats up and he said he spent 2,100 and he's won 4,300. He put this up in our Discord. This is what we like to hear. We're for profit. You know what I'm saying? That's fitness related stuff. We got Wood Warrington Wood Warrington. Now we're into this week. We have to let last week. It's behind us. Like I always say, whether we win or we lose, we turn the page. So we're already looking ahead to right now, and now this is current. Wood versus Warrington 2. This is in the UK. Bilal Fawaz, Ishmael Davis. Both of those fights I'll be breaking down. You'll be getting a Stats Don't Lie video on both of those. My prediction on Bilal Fawaz and Ishmael Davis. My prediction on Warrington versus Wood 2 as well. We know this big one, dude. This fight card is amazing. I've already uploaded Barrios versus Garcia prediction. You're also going to get my Andy Hiroka GAR prediction. You're going to get my Richardson Hitchens Oscar Duarte prediction. I can't wait for this fight. This is stylistically, I've been waiting for this fight since it was supposed to go down. This was supposed to go down either December or January, and it got postponed. So I can't wait for this fight. So I put up this poll. Right now it's 50-50. If you want to go vote, I'm going to keep this poll up for another 20 hours. So go to my Instagram, Barrios versus Garcia. I want to see who you pick. Up next. I want to talk about this real quick, and then I'm all yours. So as always, all week you're going to get my normal live streams, but I want to announce this, and I put this up in the Discord. I'll be doing 3 live streams with guests this week. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. my time, me and Gary from 3D Boxing will be going live, chopping it up. Friday, 10 a.m. my time, Tommy Randone from Tommy and Paulie's Big Fight Breakdown. And then Saturday, 9 a.m. my time, Joe Stunner Boxing. The OGs will know about Joe Stunner. He's a UK guy, OG boxing head. And we're going to really, for me and Joe, we're going to talk about that UK card. I'm going to feature him on the channel, hopefully give him some pub and get a lot of new subscribers for him. If you're not following Joe Stunner, go do it. Tommy Randone, we're going to focus on the Barrios versus Ryan card. And 3D and I are going to do what 3D and I always do and just chop it up and have a good time. So I think we're almost caught up. Yep, that's that. All right, we are caught up. So let me just pull the odds up real quick. That was an expedited version. We got all that out the way in under 8 minutes, so that's a good thing. And I'm just going to pull up the odds, and then we'll get this. We're going to take a look. I've already posted one ticket, guys. There's already one parlay for this coming week in our Patreon and on YouTube for the VIPs. It's a 5-leg short parlay. It pays plus 108. So I already have 2 tickets up. I've only posted one. The other ticket I put money on yesterday, I got an underdog parlay. We'll go over that. All right, and I'll leave that there for now. I'm going to just say what's up to everybody. Boys are checking in. Dwayne, I sang you happy birthday yesterday on the live stream. You must have missed it. If you go to yesterday's live stream, as soon as you said it was your birthday, I sang you happy birthday, bro. Feliz cumpleaños. I did the English version. Mike from Melbourne. Sup, Johnny? Really intriguing fights this weekend. 100%. Can make a case for either fighter. Wood versus Warrington. I agree. Martin versus Albright. Okay. I think Wood versus Warrington could go either way. I'm right now 60-40 Warrington for me. Martin versus Albright. I'm 70-30 Frank Martin for me. Russell Hiroka. I'm 70-30 Russell for me. Barrios Garcia. I'm 55-45 Barrios for me. There are 2 UFC picks that I'll get into later on in the week. We got to get some of this dust to gather and some of this hypeness. But I will be going over the UFC later on in the week. There's 2 fights I'm breaking down. There's a 2-leg parlay in the UFC I really like, and I'll share that with everyone. Mike from Melbourne, happy birthday. We got XI Drifts. I'm going for Barrios, Hitchinson points, for Wasabi, David. Good odds. Bro, I got to be honest with you. I'm very similar there. I have Mario on the money line. I have Hitchens right now on the money line, but I'm probably going to get sexy later in the week with the method of victory. And Bilal Fawaz, Ishmael Davis. Bilal's my guy, man. I think Bilal is the UK's best kept secret. So, and I think that, usually activity for a fighter is a good thing. I think Ishmael Davis might be a bit too active as of late. And I think Bilal Fawaz's style is going to mesh really well with Davis. And so my pick is incoming on that one. Skeezy. Morning, gents. I'm liking that 5. Appreciate you. Yes, Skeezy. If you were to rewind and just look at the receipts, those are the ones I think I've hit like 8 in a row. 8 weeks in a row. Those sort of like mid-tier 4-leg, 5-leggers. I call them short parlays, all on the money line. We get plus money. So that's a full unit. I might go double unit. I might go heavy on that one. I really like that one. And if there's any specific fights on that you want to ask about, please do. Barrios 1-4. Let's go. Nah, never. Oh, you think Mario's gonna come out on fire? Dude, Mario punches harder than people think he is. He punches harder than he gets credit for. I think Mario Barrios is better than he gets credit for. Okay, so these are my notes. From rounds 1 through 12. I scored in our Discord this weekend. I did a live scoring. I did a watch party, and then I live scored it. Round 1, I gave to Pacquiao. Round 2 and 3, I gave to Mario. Round 4, I gave to Pacquiao, but it was really close. Rounds 5 and 6, I gave to Mario, but round 6 was really close. I gave Pacquiao 7 and 8. And you know what? Manny Pacquiao made a great adjustment in the Mario Barrios fight in the 7th round. He started circling away from Mario's. Backhand and started circling into his lead hand. And he really had him. And Mario stopped throwing. That's why Barrios stopped throwing his jab. But Barrios in the Pacquiao fight early on, his jab looked good. And then he went through these laws of not having a lot of output. So he lost a lot of these mid rounds. But then Barrios late, he made a nice adjustment, throwing his backhand. And when you rewatch the Pacquiao fight, the fight that everybody gives him shade for, he didn't get hit a lot. His defense was sound. His output could have been more, but he didn't take any damage. And, Manny was 46. Dude, that version of Manny Pacquiao, that version will give a lot of 147-pound fighters trouble. I don't care what anybody says. That version was still jumping in and out of the pocket. He was still angle changing. He still had cardio and endurance. He was still dangerous. He's always going to be that awkward, explosive southpaw. And then you mix that with the entire crowd wants Manny to win. The entire crowd was chanting for Manny. All the pressure that put on Barrios. I think Mario I scored at 115 to 113 for Mario both times. In real time, I thought he won the fight. I just rewatched it. I thought he won the fight the second time. Manny really wasn't landing much. He really wasn't doing much to give him a lot of these close rounds. There were, I think I had it rounds 4, which I gave to Pacquiao, was super close. Round 6, which I gave to Mario, was super close, meaning they could have went either way. Rounds 9, which I gave to Mario, was super close, which could have went either way. And round 11 was super close as well, which could have gone either way. So I feel that that version of Barrios, it's just going to come down to that version of Barrios is not that bad, man. I don't see a guy that people are just trashing. The thing is going to come down to Ryan. The version of Ryan we last saw against Raleigh, if that guy shows up, he loses to Barrios. If the version of Ryan shows up that we saw against Devin, I think that guy beats Barrios. So this is what we're playing with here. You know, but this is the game within the game. This is why we do what we do. It's not like any of us. It's not like myself, Gary, Tommy, Joe, any of the boys. A lot of the sharps in 3D's group, a lot of the sharps in my group. It's not like anyone is standing on a platform and saying, Ryan is the best in the world. Ryan's going to knock out Mario and vice versa. We're all kind of like, this one has to, we got to see how this one's going to play out. I think for me, I'm picking Mario because it's part of what I do. It's a value play too. It's plus money. He's the world champion. He's the bigger guy. He has a stronger resume. The facts are going to be this. With all the other intangibles of the what ifs and I don't knows, there's a few facts that I like focusing on. Mario Barrios will be the biggest guy physically Ryan has ever been in there with. That matters. And also the fact is, Ryan Garcia spoke out against, in his words, the traitor Coach, legendary Joe Goosen, training Mario. I think that's a factor. I'm always looking for a lean. I think that that's a factor. I don't like the fact that we've watched Ryan go from coach to coach to coach to coach, and he found his way back to his father's arms, which is great. But he left his father early on. I think that that's going to play a role. Sent from Pet. Nah, never. You confident Barrios gets a stoppage? This is gonna be a fun week. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a fun week. Mike from Melbourne, Garcia. Dwayne, you gotta hear. I hope. Hopefully, you heard me sing you happy birthday. We got a new one. They love Eddie. We got a new one. Became a YouTube member. Eddie, aren't you already in the Discord, or maybe you just resubscribed? Jay Husky, what is the better way to join? We up, baby. It just depends on what you like better. If you want to join on YouTube, you get a star next to your name and you get elevated on the live streams, but you get all the you get all the bets. If you like Patreon, like Husky, I have guys who join Patreon because they don't like social media. So a lot of the boys on Patreon, they like it because they can just go to their profile and see my picks, and that's it. There's no live streams. There's no merch. There's none of that, right? It's not really networking for them. So whichever way you join, and we have some of the boys who join on both. So shout out whichever way you can support me, whichever way you want to join. It's the same price. Either way, you'll get all my picks and you become part of our community. So thank you. Will, what's up? Yeah, shout out to Breaking Bad. I was ready to take Pavina. Breaking Bad is beast. And like if you guys you know, like if you watch my stream, I'm really happy for him that he got that, because it's not like there's a difference with putting bets out there on Twitter, and this isn't supposed to shade anybody that is just doing it behind a screen name. But when you're doing what we do and you're giving everybody the face, the voice, you guys literally are in my house. You know what I mean? And Nick does that. Nick invites you into his house too, Breaking Bad. You're really setting you got to be prepared for the goods, the highs and lows, right? So when the lows, when they come, when you're wrong, boy, them lows, they could get you. And when the highs, it's real good. So this is why I was cheering for Nick, and I'm glad he hit, because he's a beast. We can't all hit all the time. Nobody hits 100% of the time. He puts a lot of work into this. Winner Circle. Hey Johnny, what's your opinion on betting on UK fighters? I always get them wrong. I love UK boxing. I love British boxing. I'm bringing on Joe Stunner Boxing, guys, this weekend to take your questions for the British card. But to answer your question, I would, when you say get them wrong, is it a strategy thing? Are you missing your bets because your strategy is off, or are you literally just picking the wrong fighter? And now if you're picking the wrong fighter, I think it's a simple, you could go simple approach. Are you watching enough tape? Are you asking enough questions? Are you really understanding the stylistic matchups? And if that's the thing, you could work on that. You know what I'm saying? And like anything, we'll get better as we go. The more you do something, the better you're going to get. But my opinion on UK fighters, you just got, when I said strategy, it's like, if we're doing UK as a 50-50 domestic fight, strategy-wise, winner circle, I'm going half unit. So if I win, we win, but if I lose, it doesn't hurt my account that much. So that's an example of strategy. Wherever we are in the world, if it's a domestic heavyweight fight, I'm going half unit, wherever we are in the world. Right now, for me, I know like 79. I know that Nick did really well. Some of you boys are doing really well on Zuffa. I still can't get a read. I still can't get a read on Zuffa. You know what I'm saying? So Zuffa for me, after the first few cards, Zuffa for me is a half unit bet. You know what I mean? But I've been doing really well with these massive, big marquee world title fights. So it just all comes down to your own strategy, your own bankroll, figuring out your own systems, and then paying attention to sort of patterns over long periods of time. If your sample size is only 2-3 months of betting, give it some time. But you know, hopefully that helps you in some sort of way. I love Bilal Fawaz. He might lose. Tough fight. Ishmael Davis, he's a real one. He's a veteran. He's been in there. He's been real active. Bilal Fawaz, I still think, might be the UK's best kept secret. I could be guilty of my own romanticism, though. You know what I mean? You guys know me. I like a good story. And he's won me money the last 2 fights. I've I'm lying. The first fight, I thought he beat Janae Boston, but I think that was a draw. And so I didn't win that, but I picked him to beat Janae. And then the second fight, we picked him at plus 380 and we won. And that was actually the fight that sparked all the fake ticket stuff. Shawnee, I'm liking Warrington right now, plus Beck is coming. Yeah. So Sean, if you whenever you choose to join, because I know you mentioned it earlier, you were thinking about joining. Just so you know, on the first parlay that I gave the boys already, I do have Beck the Bully on my parlay. And I do like right now, I think I'm about 60-40 Josh, but I'm going to wait until we get closer to fight night. And I'm going to bring on Joe Stunner Boxing from the UK to take your questions. So that live stream is later in the week as well. That's his wheelhouse. So this is where Gary from 3D, we're coming on each other's channel because that's what we do. I'm bringing on the UK, Joe Stunner Boxing, and I'm bringing on the New Yorker, Tommy Randone. So we're really an international community. Childish Gambino 3194. What's up, Johnny? Big weekend. What method of victory parlay you cooking up? I feel like Garcia by decision is good odds. Hopefully you're doing well. It is a big weekend. I have been looking at the method of victory options. Right now, my book in Sydney, we're not getting a lot. So for now, it's just money line for me. And I did check the YouTube posts. I did give you guys my short parlay. That's already up. It's plus 108. But right now, it's just money line. Love Bilal too, but you're right. Davis might be a bit too much. Yeah, the thing though is Davis's pedigree, because he's been in there with better guys. I mean, look who he's brushed shoulders with. You could say now Josh is his world champion now. You know, he fought Josh close on late notice. Stylistically though, Bilal, he's kind of an X factor. He has good cardio, he has good conditioning, he has good pressure, good pace. He just hasn't been in there at the high level. He's pretty much been a domestic guy. So that's where it's really going to come down to the eye. What eye are we going to take? Like, a domestic guy will look world class against a club level guy. You know what I mean? A contender will look world class against a domestic guy. A world class guy will look world class against anybody. So it really comes down to, is that resume, is the sample size with Bilal Fawaz, has it prepared him to beat Ishmael Davis? He's at plus money right now, similar odds to the Janae Boston fight. Two totally different styles though. Janae was the rising star, literally named Starboy, and Ishmael's the vet. We do, dude. The whole game's changed since the hat's been popping. Yeah, we've been raising our game since the hat's been popping. What's up, Mosby? Me too. Me too. I rewatched the first fight, and Josh was winning until he wasn't. And then Lee took a pretty intense beatdown recently against Kakachi. That's a tough fight, man. Kakachi, and that's Lee's style. And Warrington's the one, coming off better performances. So trending-wise, revenge-wise, trajectory-wise, I'm kind of leaning Josh here. Light skin business. What's up? Jay Side, gentlemen. Honors. If I had some scotch, I would toast you. Top Dog Toya. What's the link to the Discord? It's pinned in the comments here, Toya. So you could either get to the Discord by becoming a JSB Insider on YouTube or a Patreon, whichever one you get access to the Discord. Guys, we're approaching 25 minutes. We're floating between 50 and 70 people in the live. All I ask from you, just like this video for me. It takes 1 second. Click like. Barrios moneyline plus method of victory will be a live bet. Hitchens decision. Frank Martin is a sprinkle 1 through 6 or 7 to 12 plus a knockdown. And GAR moneyline method of. You got it all figured out, big dog. You sound like a man who's prepared. You definitely the type of guy who, when you wake up in the morning, you make your bed before you leave your bedroom. I'm the same way. You sound organized. You know what you want, and you're a man who believes in your hard work. I could tell all of that based on this message. I like a man. I like someone who's prepared. Preparedness is next to godliness. Thoughts on Frank fight? I'm a big fan of this matchup. I think we're gonna answer a lot of questions between Frank Martin and Nahir Albright. The pros on Nahir Albright, good overall boxing game. He's been in there with the better guys. He shared the ring with, Keyshawn's a world champion now. We know that fight, no contest, no decision due to weed, but he lost that fight. He doesn't do anything exceptionally well. He has a good jab, but he's not explosive. He's not the most powerful guy. He really doesn't have a lot of power. Frank Martin, when I'm adding in the X factors of explosivity, power, athleticism, elusiveness, throwing punches at awkward angles, and just sheer sort of trajectory. I know we like to dissect resumes a lot and see if a guy's coming off a big knockout win like Frank is against Rancis Barthélemy, people are going to just throw away Rancis was 38, 39 years old, rather than look at what energy did Frank bring into that fight. It was Frank who was coming off, in the Tank Davis fight, he was competitive until he wasn't. And where Frank's shortcomings were with Tank Davis, it wasn't anything physical. It wasn't it was everything with experience. Tank Davis beat him with experience and the nuances of the game. When Tank winked at Frank, I think in the second, when he saw Frank biting on a feint, Tank knew he had him. But that comes with experience. Tank's been fighting him since he was 5 years old. You can find footage of Tank as a 5-year-old with the gloves on. Frank picked the sport up a little bit late. But Frank's shortcomings are not in the psychological department, and they're definitely not in the physical department. So when you put all that aside and you see what happened with him against Tank, and then what he looked like against Rancis, and what I expect from him against Albright, I'm expecting a big performance of Frank Martin. I just like the way he operates, like in his training camp. I like the work ethic. I like the psychology. There's something I think he has. I think he has that X factor, and it's no shade. I mean, think about it. 3 of the guys on the main event have all been knocked out by Tank Davis. When you fight Tank Davis, you're probably getting stopped. It's no shade. Frank got stopped. Mario got stopped. Ryan got stopped. You know what I'm saying? So, but now here is a solid pro. Like I said, you got to give him the resume side. You got to give him the overall. I think he's the better overall boxer. But I feel what Frank Martin is going to make Nahir Albright do is fight him. It's every fight, every boxing match starts off as a boxing match. Some boxing matches will, kind of trend into a fight. I think Frank Martin wins the fight. Mario Barrios is going to rack up a bunch of points early on in the later rounds. He worries me. Yeah, man. Like when you rewatch the Pacquiao, he was defensively like he wasn't. He does go through lulls with his output, but he has more output than Ryan. Ryan doesn't throw a lot either. The jab is better. When Mario's active on the jab, it's not bad. His right hand, dude. No one talks about Barrios' backhand. That backhand is decent, dude. Sharp. He's put down some real level, he has a high 64, 65% knockout to win ratio. He's knocked down, I think, 4 of his last 5 opponents. I want to see activity. He's a I go, you go sort of guy, which actually isn't a bad thing with Ryan. Ryan likes to catch you and counter you with that lead hook, with that pop. So he is going to have to be careful of that. Ryan, we know what we get with Ryan. Hand speed, left hook, power. Where was all of that in Times Square? It went missing. It's really hard for me to bet on him because it went missing. He hasn't had a win since 2023. Since 2022, he's only had, I think, 4 or 5 fights. Hasn't been the most active guy. Already a 10-year pro. Never been a world champion. I think there's a lot of little things, nuanced things about this, which are making me take Mario. I thought Barrios won, Pacquiao won moments and had the crowd reacting. 100% Will. I'm glad you said that. You and I are a rare breed because there's not many guys I speak to who agree with that take. But I scored it twice, 115, 113 for Barrios. And he had, the crowd against him. and he said after the fight he had way too much respect for Manny Pacquiao. That's another thing. Barrios isn't going to go in there with any respect for Ryan Garcia. Um, Bigger dude, he could punch. He's durable. He's been stopped before, but they've both been stopped by the same guy. He was really depleted going down. This fight's at 47. You have to think that he's probably going to be somewhere near. I'm sure. Is there a rehydration clause? It's the WBC. I don't think he'll probably be somewhere around 164, 165 come fight night, maybe. El Gallo Negro 52, 52 y 48. Player, you keep saying you're getting sexy on Hitchens, knocking out Duarte. This would be. I'm thinking about it. You know, we this time of the week, brother. You know, we kind of gotta play both sides. This will be a distance fight. If someone's getting knocked out, it'll be Hitchens. I could see both. I'm not going to argue that. Oscar, I mean, what is, who's to say that Oscar won't keep leveling up? I think the biggest the of fighters in the last few years coming off a knockout loss, Oscar Duarte is probably the one I've been most impressed with rebuilding themselves. Duarte gets stopped at 135 against Ryan, but it's not the same Duarte. Maybe he hired a strength and conditioning coach, new team. He's just physically bigger. He's just grown into his man body. He's just a different guy now. He fought well against Kenneth Sims Jr. He doesn't really have a lot of variations though on his offensive artillery. It is what it is. I think Hitchens what gets lost in Hitchens' game is his fight IQ. He's a smart fighter. His timing's on point. His jab is on point. I think he's going to set up Oscar and catch him in a trap. And that I could see Duarte walking onto something heavy. Think Nick Flaz, Tiger Johnson. That I see a lot of parallels stylistically with Nick Flaz and Tiger Johnson and Hitchens and Duarte in terms of, height, reach, length, jab, speed, timing, athleticism versus style, aggression, front foot, no setups, pressure forward. So I do see parallel, and this is why I was thinking of playing the stoppage. And it's a value play, guys. The fight I see someone getting knocked out is Garcia. 100%. I could definitely see I could see either guy getting stopped. I could see Barrios getting stopped. I could see Garcia getting stopped. We've seen both guys get stopped before. That's why. We've never seen Hitchens get stopped. We've seen Duarte get stopped. So psychologically, it's easier to see something that we've seen already done than something we haven't. Yeah, no way is Hitchens stopping Duarte. Okay. PED Ryan, the press and weigh-ins will be key. Yeah, PED Ryan beats Barrios for sure. If it's PED Ryan, he beats Barrios. I don't know if it's gonna, but I don't know if PED Ryan exists anymore, because PED Ryan, in between, let's say he still got beat up. It's tough to. Raleigh beat him up in front of the world, dropped him. He had no answers. When you watch the Luke Campbell fight, you watch the guy, a young Ryan, get knocked down early, shocked, and he showed us that he could rebuild within a fight and come back and win, and he stopped him. Some people were expecting that against Raleigh, but Raleigh domesticated him early and just totally negated any sort of output, effort. The lack of effort on Ryan's part, once again, guys, I'll go down with a sink. It's hard for me to bet on a guy who lacks effort. I think a lot of money is going to be poured. It is. So much money is going to come in on Ryan. So if your team, if you feel you want to do a value play on Barrios, wait until later in the week. A lot of odds are going to shift. I agree. I'll add Molly McCann to your parlay. The odds right now, Mike, and do it. And this is kind of like our maybe I'll rename the short parlay and call it like build your own or a build on parlay. I give you 4 or 5 pieces and you could build on from there. But with those 4 or 5 pieces, you'll know that I think those are pretty much a lock. So in that short parlay, I think I don't like using the word lock based off of just karma. The minute I start saying something's a lock, dude will get starched. So yeah, that's just my own superstitions. But when you see me like last week, we hit the 4-legger plus money. I called a short parlay. Just know moving forward, when you see those picks, those are pretty much convinced picks that I think are gonna hit. So you can feel free to add something to it or remove something to it or piece together stuff on it. Explicit. I wonder if it would be the safest thing to put more on Barrios but less on Garcia. Bros, unpredictable. I agree, bro. Re-upped. Thanks. I know. You re-upped. Barrios had problems with Fabian Maidana. Not sure if you've seen that. I have to rewatch it. No, Barrios, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not just gonna sit here and tell you that Abel Ramos fight, he looked great. I'm not gonna say he's it's at age 30, it's not like Mario is leveling up. I'll just say it that. But people are acting like I think this is equally a perfect matchup for Mario as it would be for Ryan. People are like, "Oh, this is Ryan. Mario's the easiest guy at 147." Is he? I mean, I don't know, man. The kid from Ireland, is he the easiest champ at 147? I don't. I mean, 6'1" could punch, durable. What? No. So I'm thinking like at the same time, people are saying Ryan's gets an easy chance to be I think Ryan's easy work right now. Like Ryan to me looks like food. 5'8", small, hasn't won a fight in a couple years, psychologically damaged, doesn't have consistency in his life, lacks discipline. We've seen him psychologically more recent than not check out of fights. We've seen him get domesticated in a fight recently. So from that perspective, if you're Team Barrios, you're like, this is easy work right here. So it goes both ways, man. They love Eddie. I may be petty and bet right before the fight. No, that's smart. Those streamers will hesitate. Yeah, they will. It's that streamer money. Those streamers who are just casuals who want to be, in Ryan's IG stories, sharing, streaming together. That money's going to come late. So if you're Team Barrios, wait. You'll get better odds. How did I block you, Top Doya? Why would I Top Dog Toya? Maybe did a moderator block you? Send me an email. I do have moderators on the channel and in the Discord. I don't even know how to block people. Ryan Garcia tells his voice sounds extraordinarily deep. Ryan by knockout. B sounds somewhat manly. Deeper than this is a crazy take. Deeper than what probably wins. High pitch girl loses. Zachary. It's a wild take. Top Dog, we see your message. You swear he will come to your con, but you got to be a member to get in the Discord. This is a fight that I can't wait to break down. What's up, Emma? Yeah, we got Navarrete versus Sugar. What's up, Shy? Great weekend of boxing. We're in, dude. We have a lot of great fights coming up. A lot of there's gonna be a lot of discourse too. There's gonna be a lot of agreeing on stuff, disagreeing on stuff. So I feel where our channel and our community gets better week in and week out is we're growing. Like if you win, you win. A lot less trolls. You know what I mean? Because when you're in a community, you want to you don't have to always agree on things, but you don't want to have to deal with just assholes. You know what I mean? You don't have to deal with people calling you names because you picked wrong. Everyone, even in the Discord, guys are putting their bets up, and then somebody doesn't like your bet or you lose, and then people jump on you. We've gotten a lot better with our moderators getting people out of there. I love it, man. What about Barrios? What you got? What's up, Ranvar? Sub Johnny. These next 2 weeks, I'm gonna do one massive 2-legger, 3,000 to win 1,200, 40% return on Hitch and Emilio. I absolutely love betting Shakur's crew. Shakur, Hitch, Tank, Devin. Yeah. Emilio, of all the weeks, of all the fights, I don't know the odds on Emilio, but I think it should be pretty competitive, right? I have to revisit who he's fighting. I know Tank and Devin not part of Shakur's crew, but they've all been around each other. These guys never lose. Top rank cards. What's up, Afro? The Fawaz odds are good. Yeah, let's check them. I think. What if I already told you I got action? What if I told you? So yeah, plus 210 is Bilal. So if you take Bilal on the money line, Josh Warrington on the money line, that's plus 659. That might be my UK parlay. Yeah, so I really like this a lot. If I lock that in, I'll let you know. Bilal on the money line, plus 210. Warrington on the money line, plus 145. 100 gets you your money back, plus 659 bucks. That's what we call a good old fashioned two-legger with some risk. A plus money, plus 659. Let's go. I really like those pay. That's probably going to be my play. If you want to be super greedy about it, throw GAR. I'm not going to do this because I don't like throwing chalk on a dog. But I think GAR handles Soroka. I think Hitch handles Duarte. Now we're looking at plus 1100. But, I don't like doing chalk and sharp on the same ticket. You know what I mean? Zuffa boxing, I'm going to start doing a 3-leg parlay or just dog hunt. Yeah. Yeah. Some of the dude, Zuffa parlays, boy. Dog hunting. I think maybe we'll just start dog hunting those. But what did we do? We hit on I had the main event. I had F.A. Ajagba as part of our short parlay that hit. We had him on the money line, but we missed on the points. He just went out there and starched him. But that was a 2-leg paired with Nishida on points, which we hit. But all in all, I didn't take action on the dogs. I didn't take action. It was a half unit week for me anyway. But I already got some full action this week. What are your thoughts on the Zuffa card in terms of matchmaking? A lot closer and better fights, similar to UFC. You know what? I'm going to use a word, parity, parity. A lot of parity so far in this matchmaking. Tough to read. I think we do what Eddie just said. Moving forward with the Zuffa cards, maybe we could start just focusing on the dogs because we don't have a sample size. You know what I mean? They're so new. They've had 3-4 events. It's like we don't know what to expect from. So far, their sample size is pick some dogs, right? You pick some dogs, and you should be. I mean, a plus 550 hit last night, a plus 480 hit last night, in Buke and the Hawaiian Kid. So yeah, guys, we're about 45 minutes in, floating between 70 and 100. Could you like this video? Join our Discord, join the Patreon. The link is pinned in the comments. A couple bucks a month. Become part of our growing Johnny Says Boxing VIP community. We're all up. Davis, Afro Jam. I don't know if you caught the part of the live stream where I mentioned this. Ishmael Davis, sometimes being active isn't a good thing. Sometimes being active is a good thing. He's taken just in the last calendar year, he's taken fights on short notice. He's gone the distance. He's taken damage in fights. You're going up against a guy in Bilal Fawaz. Even though he's 37, he's a young, fresh 37. If you know his story, they shelved him for so long. He was promised so much. His story's really inspiring. And so, if we're talking about the energy and the sort of lack of tread on the tires, I think that's going to favor Bilal Fawaz. Yeah, it's more of getting my pick wrong on who is going to win and not doing enough research on the other opponent. Appreciate it. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, this is what we're here for, guys. I'm a teacher and coach first and foremost. I always tell everybody that. So it's my passion in helping people. That's what I mean when I say that. And I treat this the same way. LBJ in the house. What's up, brother? That's a better way of putting it. Fawaz is better preserved for his age. I like that. Money line for Barrios versus Garcia sounds the best for the moment. Until yeah, so explicit. I think let's check that out. So right now, let I'm if you take Mario, Josh, Bilal, plus 2,200 on the money line. Mario, Bilal, and Josh plus 2,200. $100 gets you your money back. Plus 2,216. Three have to hit. We've seen it happen. The dogs will. The question is, boys and girls, will the dogs be barking? We got the swindler hat on. I'm definitely banking on some dogs to be barking. I think the double-edged sword with the dogs, guys, though, is like the last thing you ever want is to put 3 dogs on a ticket and 2 hit and 1 doesn't, and then you feel like a so. Back to somebody was asking questions about the strategy of betting. Your goal, my goal, first and foremost, going into every bet, obviously, this is going to sound rudimentary. Your goal should always be, first and foremost, to win, not to get rich, not to hit a plus 5,000, but to win, right? We want to. So sometimes what will ensure us of being successful is reducing odds. So I'm comfortable with putting Josh and Bilal on the same ticket, but I'm not. I think I'm just going to go Mario by himself, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to go Mario by himself, 1 ticket. If he doesn't lose, I just lose 1 ticket. Bilal and Josh on their own ticket is an underdog parlay, and keep them separated. That's probably what I'm going to do. When I make it official, you'll see. Guys, check the Patreon right now and check the YouTube member section. I gave you guys my short parlay. It's already up. It's 5 legs, pays plus 108. It's sort of a, we just need a better word. It's sort of my like sort of go-to. It's a full unit parlay. I'm very confident in these picks. This will be my 8th week in a row doing these little shorter ones. And the last 7 we've hit. I'm going to do more study on Bilal, but it's hard when he's my favorite. Yeah. So the thing is with Bilal, you watch the first 2 Junaid Boston fights. It's no matter how much tape you watch of Bilal, it's going to come. The game within the game of Bilal versus Ishmael has Bilal's experience up until this moment prepared him for Ishmael Davis. That's going to be the major play within the play for Bilal. And then for Ishmael, has Ishmael Davis's experience up until this moment degraded him at all and maybe lessened his chances against Fawaz in this fight? Because with Bilal, you're going to get a prepared, hungry, motivated, energetic guy. That's how he fights. Waiting for the Beck by knockout parlay, MOV. Yeah. I got Beck already on the money line, and I like Melikuziev as well. At least the knockdown prop. Dude, Beck carries his power late. Beck goes to bed with his power. We saw that in the Darius Fulgham fight that swung us that fight. Davis hasn't really beaten anyone world level, though. He was unlucky against Yarko. He's been in, yeah, he hasn't beaten. And sometimes, sometimes the edge isn't always the success rate against high-level opponents versus an opponent. Sometimes the edge would be the experience against high-level opponents against a less experienced opponent. Right now, I'm thinking, though, that I think Bilal Fawaz's energy, momentum, his style will supersede Ishmael Davis's experience against high-level opponents. That's why I think Bilal Fawaz is live. Wood didn't look good. No, he didn't. Lee Wood got hit a lot, got beaten up against Anthony Kakachi. Lee Wood's style. What is Wood, 35? Warrington's 37, maybe. Leewood Style, dude, he's taken a lot of punishment. Both guys have been stopped against Bronco. Where are you, Mauricio Lara? What happened to Mauricio Lara? Lara is only what? Probably 33 now? No one calls his name out. I think Mauricio Lara is still ranked in the top 15 somewhere. But Lara has wins over both of these guys. Stoppage wins. Do you think Itsuama is the future of the heavyweight division? The future. You see this? This is the future. It's called a cross joint. I don't know, man. The short. He has a short sample size. I want to. Obviously, we gotta wait, man. When you're as old as I am, LeBron, you become really hesitant with ordaining people the next great thing. You know what I mean? Because you've seen it longer and longer of, stars that fizzle out. We'll see. Boxing's a brutal sport. I want to see how Josh Edwards evolves out of the U.S. Josh Edwards is a interesting young heavyweight. I want to see, Kiki. I want to see how he evolves. He's Mexican American heavyweight. I want to see how Taramona, what he does, Australia. So Ituama has more of the pub, more of the shine, more of the promotional backing, but he's still young. We'll see. I want to see Justice Hooney versus Ituama. Once again, I think I'm the only guy who still stands up and promotes Justice Hooney, but I think Justice Hooney is a nightmare for I think I will learn a lot about Ituama if I got to see how he would compete against a heavyweight problem like Justice. Because Justice has the feet, has the speed, has the movement, has the power. But, that fight IQ, boy, all he had to do was move around the ring for 3 minutes, and he'd probably be a world champion. But we know he didn't. He in a fight in which he was up like 9-2, 8-2, he chose to punch with a puncher. He chose to give his opponent the only way his opponent could win. He chose to give it to him on a platter. It was like, here you go. Get you a little opportunity real quick at this chin. He punched with the, obviously I'm talking about Fabio. So we'll see. I think he's good. Every time he fights, I watch. I wouldn't say he's the future. If I were to bet on the decision or knockout, Frank will win by decision. Yeah. Rich Blackman, salute. All right, J-Sai. I got Frank moneyline, Beck moneyline, Russell moneyline, Hitch moneyline, but on the fence of putting Barrios, Garcia, fight to go the distance. Keep that on it, guys, because there's so many X factors in the Barrios Garcia matchup on both sides of the plate. Whatever you choose to bet on that fight, keep it away from the other fights. Keep it away from the other fights, dude. Well, you don't have to listen to me. I would keep it away from the other fights, because if you're looking for a prop to juice up those money line picks, I mean, Beck by knockout. If you're looking for a prop, fight to go the distance, because I mean, Barrios or Garcia could get stopped. Ryan just be waiting on that left hook. That's why his punch. True. It's not a good thing though. That's not a compliment. You never want your guy to be in there waiting for a punch, showcasing, not hiding it, telling the whole world what he wants to do. You're telling me Barrios doesn't know that? Barrios has brought in Coach Joe Goosen. Do you remember the Chico Corrales fight? Well, you got to go now. And Chico went out there and knocked out Luis Castillo. One of my most memorable moments to see in real time, watching that fight as a younger dude. But Goosen brought up Garcia, and Garcia recently spoke out against the fact that Goosen is coaching Mario for this fight. That matters, dude. Coaching matters. They love it. I can see that. The past performance is a question mark. Speaking about Mario's opponents, Abel Ramos fights against Terry. I saw that. Dude, and people just act like Abel Ramos is just a scrub. Abel Ramos got some craft to him. He's gritty. He's durable. He could, like, Abel Ramos' style is when you fight him, you know you're in a fight. He's the reason what started my Figueroa no bet list. Abel Ramos was when he fought Omar Figueroa, and then talk about a way to come full circle. And it was because Nick Ball, we took off the Figueroa, and now the Figueroa no bet list no longer exists. What a full circle moment. Ryan back on that sauce changes everything. Is he back on that good? Is King Ryan back on that good? What's up, Cliff? Johnny, come on, bro. Baby, come on. Half unit. Where we going, Clifton Dennis? What do you mean? I need some context. Africa is a lock to beat Oscar. I'm a big Hitchens guy. I'm probably going to take Hitchens to stop Oscar. I think Hitchens versus Oscar is going to look like Tiger versus Nick Flas. RGBA got mine. Respect, man. If Hitchens really a lot. Clifton Ryan is going to win this. When it comes to these kind of fights, I think Johnny overthinks Ryan will win. I don't think so, Clifton. I appreciate your support. What are you saying when it comes to these kind of fights? Overthinking what? I mean, Ryan Garcia hasn't had a win in 3 years. Ryan Garcia is coming off a sluggish, slow, lackluster, psychologically damning, career potentially defining performance against Raleigh. What are we talking about here? Mario did not look that bad against Manny. 115, 113 Barrios. Scored it twice. Playing the over, won't be bad on the Duarte Hitchens fight. I like a little knockdown sneaky prop in that too. Mario last few fights hasn't impressed. His last good performance. I mean, once again, Abel Ramos, draw, didn't look good. I'm not saying he's looked great. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think I've said at all Mario Bars look great anywhere. Mario hasn't impressive since Ugas. How Hitchens looks on weigh-ins. IBF rehydration determines Hitchens wagering. He loses. If not, he wins. I don't see Richardson losing to Duarte. Would you guys be never mind. Africa has the best jab in boxing. I think so. I think Hitchens, people sleep on how good Africa is, man. I put Africa up there, dude. I put him right next to Keyshawn, like Keyshawn, Shakur, Richardson Hitchens. He's one of my favorite fighters. You give me, like I said, you give me a world-class jab, speed, and good timing. That's all I need. I'm a simple man. You win, you become a world champion. You go far in boxing with a world-class jab, and he does that really well. And he's confident. Duarte won't KO Kitchens. I don't, no way. He went the distance with Kenny. Hitchens technically. Yeah, I think people are going to be surprised with Hitchens' performance. He's back. The big dog. Johnny, you did. 79, Mike. Bro, 100%. I've always said thank you for the hat, though. This, dude, the hat has started a streak, too, brother. I used to have it up there collecting dust. So it used to be my beach hat. Because it's an Australian hat to protect from, like, sun cancer. The sun's really bad here. I'm willing to have a live debate on 3 to start right from... Actually, this can't be 79. I think this has to be a troll. Not by much. Hitchens, to me, is questionable. His fear of Matias and failure to rematch Lemos. Lemos. What? Well, at least we got some discourse, boys. We got what we wanted. We're getting what we wanted. Get all the boys to come on. Who wants to come on and debate? 79, he's always invited. I don't think this 79 knows that I'm cool with 79. I think there's two 79s. Do you think Warrington... LeBron, you asked me this question a couple nights ago about the heavyweight who just got stopped. And I told you. I said no, and then you were like, well, how could isn't all world champions world class? I go, yeah, but he was a world champion Charles Martin in 2015. So being world class isn't all encompassing. After a fighter retires, you could then ask the question, was so and so world class? Well, in the prime of his career, he was a world class fighter, but then he started degrading, sort of thing. That's sort of so world class is sort of a sentiment of where the fighter is during specific trajectories of their career. Right now, do I think Josh Warrington is world class? Nah, man. He's at the downside of his career, but at one time he was. At one time, hell yeah, he was. The Leeds Warrior, baby. Put some respect on his name. He was. At one time. I think he's 37 now. Maybe 35. One's 37, one's 35. Warrington is watched. They both praying that... Yeah, Jazz is... I don't think Jazz beats Kakashi. I like Kakashi, man. I rate Kakashi. I think he's a nightmare. I wish that we would have got to see that Sugar Nunes fight. But, be it as it may, he made the bag. He made the bag against Lee Wood. He got stripped, gave the belt up. Sugar got the belt. He took the money against Lee, made his money, and now he's getting... And then Jazza beats Badr Gaziev. Jazza gets elevated, and it all works out because Kakashi gets to fight for a world title. Even though he got stripped. Rudy! He isn't a slouch. JR talks upcoming fight. Hell nah. Nah. I don't think anybody here, Rudy, ever called Andy Hiroka a slouch. Andy Hiroka could crack. Andy Hiroka has power in both hands. Andy Hiroka's aggressive, and he can take a shot. So but these questions will be answered. I love that. This is the fight that I've been waiting most forward to. We haven't even mentioned this fight, but this was the fight that has been on my radar, considering Gary Antoine Russell's been one of my favorite fighters since the amateurs. And Andy Hiroka, we saw what he did against Rikishi, dismantled him. Hasn't been the most, neither one of these guys have been the most active, but it's good to see both of them in a marquee featured fight. GAR is a world champion now. Hiroka gets to fight for a world title. I think Hiroka's style, his aggressiveness, his braveness is actually going to play into the hands of Gary Russell's timing and his power. And I like GAR in this fight. There we go. I just answered you, the big dog. Johnny, what are your thoughts about people saying Barrios eating too many shots? I think styles make fights. I doubt Barrios will be open to just eat. I mean, this is what I keep telling people. Watch the Pacquiao fight. He didn't get hit a lot at all. He barely got touched against Manny Pacquiao. Granted, Pacquiao's 5'6", and Mario's 6 feet tall. But Ryan's only 5'8". Ryan's little. I think when I added up the pros and cons, Mario versus Ryan, Mario's bag of pros outweigh Ryan's bag of pros by a lot. So at plus 210, I love that bet. You're getting Ryan at 43% return. That's not for me, boys. Definitely not for me. If I become a member, how can I join the Discord? I send you the link, Addison. Addison, what's up? Yeah, so join here, and then you'll get the link to the Discord. We're approaching 400 JSB insiders. Sent from Pet, I appreciate the support, appreciate the help. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Zachary Scott, my guy with the Super Chat. No Bet Bible. I love that phrase. I like how you line that up. However you can support me, Super Chat like Zach. Like the video. Become a JSB insider. I say thank you. Zach says the No Bet Bible. Mick Conlon, Current Wilder, UK fighters fighting Mexicans, 100%. Cuban B-siders, Japanese fighters fighting outside of Japan, not named anyway. I like this list, and I like the way you phrase it, the No Bet Bible. I feel like we can market that and sell it. Guys, I got to run. Stay tuned. The chat's still popping. Everybody's in here tapping in. We're over an hour in. We have about 85 people here. Guys, I got a coach. I got some clients downstairs. So thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Gary, 3D Boxing. We're live streaming tomorrow. Stay tuned.